I don't know where we are on time. Probably pretty long, but I've got kind of a list of my musical stuff. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I grew up in the Church of Christ, which meant for me a cappella singing. I know how to read that and sing, and I'm a man, so I started as an alto, and then went from alto to tenor to bass. But I'm also a musician, so I learned how to play instruments. I was in band in college, and I appreciate music and live music as well as the a cappella stuff. So here's what happens to you when you are in that kind of messed up Venn diagram of a person that grows up. Because I am someone who, here are the things that I will judge your music on. Ready? Okay, so I'll start with just when we're in church and it's a Church of Christ singing a cappella. So, by the way, you're a song leader, right?
Yeah. There
is no song leader on the planet or no worship service that I've gone to that I didn't judge like the whole time. Just I've got a problem. So, starting pitch, too high, too low.
Mm-hmm.
Tempo, too fast, too slow, or you start right but end wrong. Don't like the draggers. Out of tune. One part is singing too loud in the 4-part harmony. Like the tenors don't know they're not the main deal right now. It's the sopranos. It's the sopranos that don't know.
It's
the
sopranos, yeah.
One part is singing too quietly also bugs me. When the leader doesn't lead us through dynamics, or when someone blasts through the dynamics and we're supposed to all be singing quiet and someone sings loud. The words are scripturally unsound. The words are theologically sound, but they're kind of dumb. That'll throw me off. The words are good and theologically sound, but the arrangement is bad.
Yeah.
The arrangement is good, but the words are bad. The leader doesn't know how to direct, doesn't know how to lead.
Yeah.
But also, it bugs me when the leader's a little bit too good at how to lead and knows a little bit too well. That
too
also
precise.
A little bit too choiry for me. The directors who wear turtlenecks. That's a shout out to Keith. What's his name?
Lancaster.
Yeah, he wore a turtleneck, and I was like, "Who wears a turtleneck in Colorado?" This New York Yankee trying to teach us how to do music. He's not from New York, but he looked. I don't know. Turtlenecks are a little too liberal for my taste. That's kind of NPR. And then I have a whole subsection on clapping. Churches that don't clap, churches that clap on 1 and 3. So bad. Clapping late, which is a uniquely white people problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then distracting clap additions. Out of nowhere. And then it's gone. What the heck? All kinds of stuff. But then I crossed the line, and the musician part of me, almost every Church of Christ song, a cappella, I've got a drum track going in my mind because almost every one of them is better if the drums come in at some point. So I'm always like, oh, but if we had drums right now, we'd all be crying. But effeminate electric piano music behind prayers.
What do you mean by effeminate?
Well, it's like low and slow. It's like Jimmy Fallon writing thank you notes. Have you Jimmy Fallon Late Show? He's got.
Is it kind of like music you'd have like in a massage parlor, like really
exactly, yeah. And it's
slow chords,
Yeah, if I'm praying and there's that piano, it's gonna make me want to like emotion it up, and I just am not equipped to do that. And also I can't stop thinking about what the piano player is thinking. It's kind of like the instrumental version of if someone's got their eyes open in a prayer.
Oh, uh-huh.
It's like, well, wait a minute. He's doing his technical thing. Bad solos if there's a solo, when there's no solos, but there should be a solo. when they were nice Christians, so they let someone bad in the band. Um, when the band is too good that it's distracting.
That's interesting.
When they cover a song that someone else, it's like a good worship song, but they cover it poorly. When I don't know the words, and when there's no parts for a bass, that's a problem. It's all one genre, not enough angry songs. And so it's just kind of the point of all that is all of this is 100% me getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Approaching worship completely the wrong way because I am an active music listener, that I hear all that stuff and I am completely taken out of the moment so easily and just so ready to judge not only your theology but your musical aptitude. And it's a problem that I've taken with me and I can't get rid of it. And so it would be better for me to go to a zero music, like no singing, no instruments, just maybe how Jewish people read Psalms might speak to me because it's always off tune. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I feel that a little bit because I having led songs or led worship or whatever we want to call it at a Church of Christ since I was 13. I've done it a lot, and I feel like I've figured a lot of stuff out, and think that I'll add to your list. When the song leader starts the note on the right note, according to the staff,
and
it's
then
too high.
Yeah,
it's like they should have known that the sopranos cannot sing that high.
Right.
Started a third down or whatever, and yeah, but my problem is now that I've started. We've been watching like some of these other churches that have like bands and stuff. I don't know any of the songs, and if any of the singers are like a half a pitch off, it just throws me off. Oh. And I'm like, I can't worship now anymore. I'm done.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to I've known what I considered old people. Apologies to old people who complain about that they don't know any of the songs.
Yeah,
that's a valid. I see that as a cantankerous, thing, but it stinks to not know the songs. You connect way different when you know them all and you know where it's going. You know how to set your emotional range.
Yeah.
And that when someone has a pitch pipe and they blow the pitch, and then they start the song on a different pitch.
Oh,
that's or when the guy in the song booth can't read music. And so doesn't realize that the basses still have like 3 notes to go before the page should turn.
Yeah.
But this, and all of these, this has taken up my mind. And I bet if you are an elder at a church, you have gotten a letter or a complaint about something. If you're a song leader, you definitely have. None of these in the Bible. None of these are about right or wrong. It's, it's me getting in my same judgmental framework, trying to get it all right, and now applying it to how good are you at music?
Yeah.
And so when I'm next to someone who can't carry a tune and is warbling it out with their whole heart, like David would, I am judging them based on how good they are at music. So yeah.
So this is an example of what not to do, right?
This is all bad. This is not. Yeah, the ignorance truly is bliss with this stuff. You also don't want to go see movies. I'm a very judgmental person on movies and all kinds of other things, and so you don't want to go to a movie with me and ask me how is it. You want to go to a movie with my brother because he'll say it was the best movie ever, and you want to go to a worship service with someone who can't sing and doesn't know anything about music because they're going to jump in and say that was powerful and amazing. I'll be like, well, but I don't know.
Kind of off for a little.
Yeah. Sure aren't a whole lot of baritones in this building, are there? So, what not to do? Just had to get that out of my system. And working as I'm a weird case of Church of Christian because my mindset of like what I care about these things and how I identify myself changed like 14 years ago. So I was, I kind of broadened my kind of perceived bubble early, but kept going, especially in Fort Collins, but for the most part to Church of Christ. But when I do visit another town or I'm going to another church, I carry all these hangups with me to that place, and it's almost like the leaven of the Pharisees. I think we've talked about this, that there is a danger that the reason leaven is an example is it's an infectious, it's yeast. So you take a little bit and put it in a big thing, and it can spread. And I'm concerned about taking my do it right-ism, musically or whatever else, and bringing it to an uninfected place, because I want to go to those places and be like, oh, thank goodness I'm here, because I have identified the things you're doing wrong. And let's start with music. And no one should listen to me, but I want to do that because the leaven of Nathan is still strong, and I'm working on trying to identify when something feels important to me that is zero important, not important at all. Music is one of them.
So how do you get around that?
Acknowledging the problem is the first step. I don't know what the second step is. But I think just the awareness. I'm gonna want to here's what my gut is saying. Let's just that half a step of perspective back from following your gut all over the place is like, oh, I'm gonna, it's nice if you do it remotely. It's better because you can write all your notes and think about it for a while, and you're not gonna accidentally tell it to someone. But yeah, I think the way that I've told myself is that my goal is that I know that I've not done a good job of having a real relationship with Christ. I don't know what it means to follow. And so I'm looking for people who do that. And if I find those people, I'm not trying to convert them into me. So I actually want to make mistakes in ways they make mistakes for a while, see how it feels, because I try to let down some of those things and try to get the things right that are actually important. And I think Jesus, when he says gnats and camels or mint and cumin, it's not that you have to choose between getting the big things right and the small things right, but it's more important to get the big things right. And if I have either weighted everything as the same amount of important, then I have a problem because not everything is the same amount of important. Or if I have focused so much on these little periphery details and I'm not getting the big stuff right, which is where I am. I'm not getting the big stuff right. I've got the details down. That's when I think it's time to let go of that stuff a little bit and be a David or a Peter or a, whatever else it is, but not spread it. I don't want to spread my bitterness to other people.
Don't spread the yeast of Nathan.
Don't spread the yeast of Nathan. Yep.
Knowing is half the battle, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty young. Who knows what else I'm going to discover about myself? It's uncomfortable, but